If I were a painting captured on canvas, alone in the portrait, I'd...
Everyone, hope you're okay. So if you've watched the previous videos, this will make sense. If you haven't, you'll be like, what the hell am I talking about? So let me just explain a little bit again. So the previous videos of myself and Ian, we did the waltz, and we taught a little bit of a routine. So we did a natural turn, a change step, a reverse turn, back into a change step, and then start again. So back into a natural turn. Okay. It's a good routine anyway, because it starts to develop the rotation. Because obviously when you first we teach the waltz, we just try and keep it very straight and flat. But obviously there is rotation within the waltz. That's what makes it quite difficult, because it's understanding that rotation. So what I'm going to do in this video is to try and give some actual tips on the waltz, some tips, some techniques. And you don't need a lot of space for this, so it's quite good. I mean, at the moment we are standing in a lot of queues for the supermarket, and potentially next week from other retail if people dare venture. So it's quite good if you're standing in a queue, you can kind of be doing certain things to pass the time. Okay, so what I will do first, I'll explain about the heels and toes and how it helps with the rise and fall to create that swing and shaping of the waltz. And then I will talk a little bit about what we call contra body and how that helps with the rotation. Okay, I will also touch a little bit on, actually, but this is more when you're dancing with your partner, but you do need to obviously be aware of it, the inside and outside of turns, which will help you get around each other a little bit more in rotation. So obviously it will be the same for leader and follow. So if you're going forward, no matter in which part of the dance, whether you're the leader or the follower, the same principles will apply. Okay, so if I'm going forward, so say if I'm going to go forward on my right foot, it's a heel lead. Okay, and what you want to try and do is heel and actually get over onto the toe, the front part of the foot. So what we say is nose over toes. Apologise, there's a big digger going by, whether you can hear that. Okay, so as I go forward, nose over toes. Okay, so what this will actually do as well, it will help you swing the body through. And also what happens if you just stop, your body's dropped, so you then struggle to get around on your next step. When you go to the side, if we're talking about the video, it's really hard to get around. So heel first. So whenever we go forward, we're heel, because it's a slow, so it's a driving step. So one, so it goes one. Okay, so if you can actually do that when you're just standing. So literally you can just do an exercise where you go forward on the right foot, one, and make sure you get back over, then come back, forward, come back. You do it on the left leg, obviously, because we do both. So one and back, and one and back. So it's heel to toe, heel, ball, toe. Now when we go backwards, we always refer, so we'll always say heel, because generally we're talking about the person who is going forward. But obviously when you go backwards, you don't actually want to go heel, because that's a bit difficult. So it's actually you go toe, ball, flat. So you go onto the heel at the end, but you don't actually go back on your heel. So again here, but you still want to get over the foot. So if I'm going to go back on my left foot to begin with, so we go back, make sure your body weight is completely over that leg. Okay, so again, you don't want to be what we call split weight. You need to be over that foot. Okay, so I go back, back. So if I do it on my right foot, back. Okay, so it's toe, ball, flat, so to the heel. Okay, and by doing that, your body weight is over your foot, so then you can move easier. because I'm actually over a foot, so then I can move into a different position, move my leg. If you kind of split weight, it's a bit more difficult, and then it's harder for you to remember which foot you're on. So if you complete the movement, I know I'm definitely on my left foot now, whereas if I'm kind of in between, it's a bit more difficult. Okay, so if I just show you that little bit of an exercise again, so I'll go forward on my right foot first, so I go heel and come up, and heel. Now if I go on my left foot, heel to toe, heel ball toe, heel ball toe, okay? So this is also what starts to help with the swing, because you're going from a down to an up, okay? Backwards, so I'll go back on my right first, so I go back forward, I go back, and now if I go on my left, so I go back, come in, and back, come back, okay? Hope that makes sense. So that's something that you can practice. Now the next thing is what we call CBM and CBMP. So it's to help with the rotation of the body. Okay, so a good exercise for this. So let me show it this way actually, you can help it. So if I'm going to go forward on my left foot, I'm going to bring my right side forward. So if I go forward on my left, my right side comes forward. Here. Okay. We naturally walk like this. So when you walk, if your left foot, you naturally swing the opposite arm to leg. This is the same principle. We're just over exaggerating it. You wouldn't walk down the street like this. Okay. So again, so if I go forward on my left foot, again, the same principles of going through the foot. So I'm going to go through on my left foot, so I'm going to bring my right side forward. There. Okay. If I go forward on my right foot, I bring my left side forward. Here. So it helps swing the body around. Okay, can you see that? So is that easiest? Don't know if it's easiest to do it this way as well. So if I go forward on my left foot, my right side comes forward. Here. If I go forward on my right foot, my left side comes forward. There. Okay. This is also really nice just to stretch as well. It actually just feels really nice because you can just really stretch out the body, and it just really helps. It's just nice as well, just to help with the spine. If you're going backwards, this always feels a little bit more awkward. So if I'm going backwards on my right foot, I take my left side forward. Left side forward. If I'm going backwards on my right foot, I'm going to take my left side backwards. That would be a bit difficult, wouldn't it? I'd be like that. Okay, so there and there. Okay, so right side back, so right foot back, left side back. There. Opposite, so left foot back, right side back. There. Okay. Does that make sense? So I go there and there and there and there. Okay, does that make sense? So backwards on my right foot, left side back. Okay, so it's starting to rotate with the body. So start to get more, the body then comes in. You haven't just got a flat body. The body then starts to have some kind of movement. So again, the exercise, forward on my left, right side forward. There. Now I'm going to go forward on my right foot, so my left side forward. There. So backwards on my right foot, so my left side goes back. There. Backwards on my left foot, so my right side goes backwards. There. Okay, so again, that's another good exercise to try. Finally, I'm just going to touch on how to help with the rotation in the actual routine that we've done, because what we talk about is inside and outside of turn. As a partnership, if you're both trying to move together, you won't get around each other. So you've got to understand that the person on the inside of the turn has to do it slightly smaller so that the person coming around the outside can get around. They need to do it slightly bigger as well. But if you're both trying to do the same, you just won't get around each other. You'll just be going in a straight line. Okay? So, if I do a natural turn, so the person on the inside of turn, so that's the person going backwards is on the inside of turn. Okay, if you just remember that, so the person on the going backwards is on the inside of turn, whether it's a natural turn or a reverse turn. So if I'm going to go backwards on my left foot, okay, here, so I go backwards, so this is when I start to use as well what we've just spoke about earlier, the movement, the action before, the CBM, here, okay. So I do a smaller step to the side to allow my partner to come around. Now, because I'm on the outside of the turn, again, starting to shape with the body, I take a bigger step around and then can close my feet, okay? So it's understanding that principle as well of getting around each other. Of course, it's fine if you're doing it on your own because you'll be perfect, because you'll be able to get around. But obviously with ballroom and Latin dancing, we do dance with a partner. And that obviously makes it a little bit more difficult at times. But if you understand these basic principles, it will help with the swing dances. So it's not just waltz. It does come into the other swing dances as well. One other little thing is also just good to do if you haven't got much move. Literally just go up and down onto so toes and back down. This is good for your balance. It's also helping to keep the nice straight posture. And it just helps strengthen the feet and ankles. The stronger your feet and ankles can be, the better for both ballroom and Latin. So this is a good exercise. I mean, obviously if you've been watching previous videos, I damaged my ankle. So I've been doing this to try and strengthen my ankle again. So that's another good thing to help. And don't just up and down really fast. Actually control. You can actually do that to waltz music. So you can actually do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I hope those little tips, technique bits help. Like I say, it's just so what we're trying to do is develop the dancing a little bit more for you. So you've got the steps, but then you're getting a little bit more on top, because obviously sometimes in lessons and classes, we don't always, well, mainly like the group classes, we don't always have time to go into too much detail. It's kind of just the steps. But if you can get the basic fundamentals, it will really help. It runs through all the dances, so it really helps. But obviously when you first learn, it's just like legs everywhere, okay? So these little tips and tricks, well, not really tricks actually, it's tips, techniques that we have to use. Hopefully it will help develop your dancing a little bit more. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and hopefully see you soon. You take care.